other thing, the borrowing for a down payment, new to me. Can they borrow against their 401k for that
Yeah,
without being issues?
there are a variety of
There's
things they
exceptions.
could do, but I mean, it's a young couple, they don't have any 401k.
Right, but is that an acceptable borrow?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. And it's-
Well, that's
It's
their
acceptable by
money.
lending guidelines, but we've run into trouble in our properties, one most recently in Connecticut. We've since turned it around and we're out of it. But this guy came in, he was going through a foreclosure 2.5, 3 years ago. Every penny of the 25 was 401k. It's the weirdest thing, but several of these, because it was all from their 401k, it's like it's not their money. And we've had defaults, as strange as that sounds. So we want to know the source now, big time. Like, where's this
Okay.
coming from? I'm borrowing it all from my parents, no good. If there's other things
Yeah.
in place to offset it, but in general, no good. I'm borrowing it all from my 401k, not good, not great.
Can be a gift though, no? Parent
Well,
gift within the
lending-wise, yes. I'm saying our palette is if they're borrowing it all, they have more chance of defaulting in the rent-to-own.
And I have that
Yeah,
conversation.
lending-wise, sure.
And I have that
So lending-wise is
conversation.
okay, it's just
Yes,
covering
just us.
your, as far as who the buyer is?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I'll have that conversation with them, like, you're borrowing all the money from your 401k, I mean, you know, does that matter to you? I mean, like,
Yeah.
I want to hear them say, yes, that's my life savings.
Yeah, yeah,
That's right.
definitely.
If you're trying to get them to perform, right? You're trying to get them to close you out in a shorter period of time, then borrowing it all isn't what we've noticed isn't the best.
Right,
If you're
Sub two.
Yeah, if you want it to be a longer term deal, then borrowing it, I mean, if you don't want them to cash you out in a short period of time, then that can be okay because they can extend it as long as needed.
right.
So if those guys got, Steve and Lauren, if they got a heavy percentage of theirs borrowed, but they own it sub two, I don't say who cares, but almost who cares, because
If-
it's their risk.
What we've noticed is we take a smaller down payment, but knowing it's like coming from their savings account and they've worked for that money, that's more likely they're going to
Feels more
perform,
secure.
especially if it's in a shorter term.
Here's another quick piece to that. They went to Navy Fed, and within an hour, they had the money. So that tells me they've got a great relationship with Navy Fed.
Yeah.
They're going to have another credit line that they will have paid off when it's time to get a mortgage. Navy Fed will love them. They'll have an experience. It'll be 10%, almost to the price of the house. I mean, there were several pieces here that made it really a wise decision, even though it was unorthodox.
A lot of nuances, huh, on these deals?
Yeah.
Good to have a sounding board right here in the room.
Sorry, don't mean to monopolize, but still back on the borrowing. If they borrow a conventional loan or a short-term loan, and that's paid off before they go to mortgage the property, is that still considered, what did you call it, Chris, fraudulent? or-
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a mortgage officer, so I
I
don't want
know,
to go
I
that, I
know,
honestly
but-
don't want to go that deep, but, because loans change every month, so I don't know.
Okay. All right.
It's not a good plan. I mean, if it's the only plan you've got and it makes sense to make the deal, just like this. I mean, they borrowed the money. Here's what, essentially, they borrowed the money so that I would say yes to accepting them to build their down payment monthly. That's what happened.
Right.
That is what happened in this deal. They didn't borrow the money for their down payment. They borrowed the money to secure the house with me.
Yep.
And that's what I'll say. I mean, because that's what my agreement says. It doesn't say that that's down payment. It says that
Yep.
it's,
And here's the punchline, are you gonna really lose sleep with is it 420? It's got a glare on it.
yeah,
Are
420.
you really gonna lose sleep if they leave tomorrow?
Nope.
$420. It was an easier decision.
On a brand new renovated house.
Thank you.
Nice.